Let me take you back to when I was a young medical student, eager to enter the world of endless studies, hard work, and late-night friendships. Our dorms at the medical school are located directly across from the nursing dorm. This distance meant that our room overlooked the hallway of the nursing home, and of course, we're all excited at first. We imagine moments of friendly interaction that might even impress some nursing students, but we soon learn that reality is far from our expectations. My room was at one end of our dorm room with a view that stretched down the hallway of the boarding house. Through my window, I could see the nursing students coming and going. However, a room at the end of the hallway often caught my attention, a room marked as a storage room. It stood there, menacingly hidden, and an atmosphere of doom reigned around it. No one has ever stayed in that room. It seemed like a forgotten room. One particular evening, after a long, hard day at work, I returned to my room exhausted. The weight of fatigue pressed down on me like an unwanted burden. Seeking respite, I freshened up and decided to sit by the window and enjoy the wind whispering through the curtains. I poured myself a cold drink, hoping it would soothe my weary soul. As I sat there lost in thought, I realized that something strange was happening in the storage room of the nursing home. Light pierces the darkness in a room that usually slumbers. Its glow cast an eerie glow down the corridor, touching me with a mixture of curiosity and fear. The door was closed, and although the windows were closed, it seemed that something was hidden in them. Despite the obstacle, my eyes were inexplicably drawn to the presence in the room. The glass in the windows is frosted glass, designed to provide privacy and hidden details. However, this did not stop me from observing the surreal scene unfolding in front of me. A figure seemed to emerge from the shadows, a woman walking restlessly in the storage room. Her movements were quick, almost frantic, as if driven by an invisible force. She moves in a circular motion, caught in another world in a dance of despair. A shiver ran down my spine, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. The rational part of my mind tried to find an explanation for this disturbing sight. Who walks into a storage room at such an ungodly hour, moving at such alarming speed? Questions swirl in my mind, but my attention is drawn to the fatigue that is plaguing me. Determined not to dismiss the eerie sight as a fatigue-induced hallucination, I swallowed the last of my cold drink and retreated to my comfortable bed. Dawn comes the next morning like any other. Returning from school, my eyes were immediately drawn to an unusual scene outside the nursing home. A flurry of police cars burst into the premises, their presence both shocking and confusing. Driven by curiosity, I approached one of the officers, my curiosity almost uncontrollable. "What's going on here?" I asked, unable to hide my confusion. The officer's face was sour and sad as he delivered the terrible news. "Last night," he began in a sad voice, "a nurse in this hotel took her own life. She hanged herself from a fan in a storage room." My heart skipped a beat when the officer's words hit my ears. A mixture of disbelief and sadness came over me, and I deeply felt the gravity of the situation. I realized with terrible clarity that the woman I had seen through the frosted glass window, whose insane movements had been etched in my memory, was on the verge of taking her own life. A storage room that was once a bedroom has become the backdrop for a tragic and inexplicable event. From that moment on, an indescribable anxiety hung over the walls of our medical hotel. Little did we know that this was only the beginning of a haunting journey where the realms of the living and the dead would intertwine and forever change the lives of those who dared to stay in the medical and nursing dormitories. After the tragic suicide of a nurse, an eerie atmosphere reigns over our medical dormitory. Her restless spirit began to circulate among the students, adding a sense of dread to our daily lives. This incident has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness and seems to be deepening the mystery of the nursing home's warehouse with each passing day. As the weeks went by, strange occurrences became more frequent. Students reported faint whispers echoing through the hallways at night, as if the walls were whispering secrets of the past. Doors would slam shut for no apparent reason, sending shivers down our spines, and inexplicable chills would waft through the air, chilling us to the bone. In this restless atmosphere, my attention was once again drawn to the storage room. Its closed doors seemed to mock me, inviting me to discover its secrets. Unable to resist, I confide in some of my college mates, and together we decide to uncover the truth behind the nurse's tragic fate. On a moonlit night, we went to the nursing home with excitement and curiosity. Anticipation hung in the air as we made our way to the storage room, our footsteps echoing eerily in the dimly lit hallway. Right in front of us was a door, a gate to the unknown, and I slowly turned the handle with trembling hands. When the door creaked open, old air rushed in. The room before us was empty and eerily quiet. The walls are lined with dusty shelves filled with relics of the forgotten past. We entered cautiously, our hearts beating wildly in our chests and forebodings filling the air. In the soiled atmosphere we feel a subtle change, a presence that seems lingering, invisible but undeniably present. Our eyes scan the room for signs of the nurse's distress. Then, in one corner of the warehouse, our eyes fell on a crumpled diary. It lay there as if waiting to be discovered, the pages aged and tattered. With excitement and anticipation, I reached out and opened the diary and turned to the first page. The words that greeted me sent shivers down my spine. This is the diary of a nurse that tells the story of her journey through the corridors of a care hotel, her struggles, her joys, and the hidden darkness that surrounded her. Each page is a haunting testament to her suffering and despair, with the last entry showing her deteriorating mental state. As we delved into the pages of the diary, we were overcome with deep sadness. We can almost feel her presence in the room, her spirit haunting the words she writes. It was as if she longed for her story to be heard, for her pain to be acknowledged. But when the clock struck midnight, it seemed that some invisible force woke up in the storage room. The temperature dropped and a cold wind blew into the room, blowing out the candles we had brought with us to facilitate the search. Panic coursed through our veins as we stumbled towards the door, desperately trying to escape the evil energy that was taking over the room. Since that night, the storage room has been a forbidden place and its haunting secrets remain intact. For those of us who live in medical dormitories, the tragic stories of nurses are close to our hearts. Her spirit lives on as a constant reminder of the fragility of the mind and the enduring power of unresolved pain. To this day, I can't help but wonder if her restless soul still wanders the halls of the nursing home, trapped in an eternal circle of mourning and longing. The memories of that night and the terrifying encounter with the supernatural are still seared into my mind, a haunting reminder of the unseen forces that can exist in this world, forever at the mercy of those who dare to step too close to the threshold of life and death, leaving its mark on you.